Hey guys, Kim Stallings, Heritage Risk Advisors. How are you doing? So excited to be here with you again. In this module, we're going to talk about insurance for investment properties. And there's all kinds of investment properties in today's world. We have your standard landlord property, but we've also got Airbnbs and vacation rentals. We've got fix and flip properties. So what kind of stuff should we be looking at when we're specifically talking about an investment property? We're not going to talk about builder's risk and flip properties in this particular module. We're going to really focus on the tenanted properties, occupied properties. Those are landlords, Airbnbs, and short-term vacation rentals, okay? So what kind of insurance do we need for those? As we discussed before, I want a dwelling policy 3. I want a special perils form. I want replacement cost. Always, 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 always. So let's make sure we always get that kind of coverage at a minimum. But what other things are important? Well, we've got to talk about whether or not you are furnishing anything at that particular dwelling. You may or may not furnish a landlord property, but you might very well be furnishing an Airbnb or a vacation rental. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got enough coverage in contents or BPP. It depends if you're on a commercial schedule or an individual personal policy, what they call it. That's the fun thing about insurance. Everybody's got a different name for the exact same stuff. So we really got to be heads up and we got to pay attention. So in contents, you might be shopping at Walmart or you might be shopping at Williams-Sonoma. We got to know. So when you're looking at if it all burns down tomorrow, were you buying from Nordstrom's? Were you buying IKEA furniture? Or are you buying stuff from the resale shop? Doesn't matter, but make sure that it's covered, okay? So in your contents coverage, standard coverage is either 10 or 20% at most carriers. But you can add endorsements, which are additions to your policy, to increase that contents coverage. You want to make sure if you're shopping at Wayfair and that's all high-end stuff, or you're shopping at Nordstrom's or you're shopping at Williams-Sonoma, that you get your money back for those pots and plates and pans and all of your bedding and your towels and things like that that you would furnish in those sorts of situations. So double check your contents coverage and make sure you're covered adequately. You're the only one that's going to know how if you are covered appropriately. But how do we prove if it all burns down tomorrow that you be shopping at Williams-Sonoma and not at Walmart? Always, 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 once your place is decked out and furnished, get your phone, put it on record, and walk around that bad boy and show them what's inside your building. Super important in case you have a claim, because who's to say that that was a Samsung TV versus a Vizio? I don't know. It's all burned up. Nobody can say. So you've got to have proof. If you don't have copies of all your receipts in a log, because maybe you're not as OCD as me, you darn sure better make sure that you've got a video. And when you get that video, don't leave it on your phone. Upload it to the cloud somewhere. In this digital world today, there's no excuse for you not to walk through your property and slowly talk about and point out different pieces of art and furniture. Open the cabinet, show them the plate, show them the dishes, open the other cabinet, show them the towels, show them the bedding, and they can see the quality, show them the tag. It's so easy. It's going to save you so much time. Lord forbid you have a claim. Do you understand? So contents coverage, very important. The other thing that's really important in investment property is what they call loss of use, loss of rents, or BIEE, which is business income and extra expense. This is the money that you get paid to cover your mortgage and your utilities and your taxes and your insurance in the event that you've had a claim and your tenants have to move out. So not only does it give you money to place your tenants elsewhere, if need be, but it really gives you money to replace that lost use income. And that's how you keep paying your bills when the claim's happening, because your bills don't stop just because your property has stopped cash flowing through no fault of your own. So make sure that your policy has enough loss of rents coverage. Some of those policies are tricksy. They only give you 30 days of coverage, or they only give you 1 month in 6 months, which is only 2 months a year. So it's really important to read that policy. What you want is ALS. That's called actual loss sustained, or annual loss of rents, where you get a whole year, up to a whole year regardless. Hopefully you can get your problem fixed in that amount of time. So that's a super important endorsement that you would want to add. Other things you need to think about in your investment properties. Do you allow animals? Whether you allow animals or not, they may have emotional support animals. And so you don't get a choice. Their emotional support chimpanzee might hate your walls and tear them to shreds. So do you have coverage for animals? Do you have no coverage or limited coverage for any animals, excluding dogs only? There's so many questions. So if you feel like you're in a spot where you are renting to tenants that may or may not have animals, make sure that kind of stuff is covered in your policy, because if the animal causes the damage, but it's not a covered cause of loss, then you don't get a check and you're left holding the bag. That doesn't protect our assets. That's not what we want. There's lots of ins and outs when it comes to investor properties that are really important, but the biggest takeaways for you are: do you have coverage for contents? Do you need it? Do you have enough coverage if they can't live there and you've got to make your bills? That's called loss of rents. And is the animal situation taken care of? Those are some of the most important things I want you to walk away from in this module, and we'll talk about some other important things in future ones. But my name is Kim Stallings. If you have questions, Heritage Risk Advisors would love to help you out.